You've seen them, right? Those incredible, sometimes kind of weird images that AI generates. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's actually happening there? Today, we're going to dive into how AI isn't just making new pictures, it's changing the very idea of truth. And it all starts with a question you've probably asked yourself.
Seriously, what is the deal with the extra fingers, or that arm that just sort of melts into the background? It's this super common glitch, you know? It's easy to just laugh it off and keep scrolling.
But what if it's not just a bug? A philosopher named Filomythos says these aren't just mistakes. He thinks they're clues, secret messages from the machine, basically confessing the edges of what it knows. And today, we're going to learn how to read them.
Okay, so to understand the message inside the glitch, we first have to get our heads around a massive change that's happened right under our noses. The very definition of an image has changed.
For, ever, a picture was a trace of the real world, a physical fingerprint. Light hit film, paint hit a canvas. It was proof that something was actually there. But now, an AI image is totally different. It's not a trace of one thing, it's an average of millions of things. A statistical summary of all the data it's seen. It isn't looking at the world, it's looking at data about the world.
And this brings us to this wild idea that Filomythos calls synthetic epistemology. It's a whole new way of knowing, where truth isn't about what's out there in the world, but about patterns found in data. I mean, think about it. The AI doesn't know what a cat is, it just knows that there's a super high statistical chance that these pixels will show up next to the word cat. That is a massive, massive shift.
So if this whole new reality is built on data, then we have to ask, who's choosing the data? Because it turns out there are these powerful, kind of invisible forces shaping everything the AI sees.
First, we've got to talk about the data myth. This is the idea that if you just hoover up enough data, you'll get a perfect, unbiased map of the world. But that's just not true. Every single data set is built on human choices. What did we think was important enough to photograph, to upload, to save? So if most pictures of CEOs online are of men, well, the AI learns that's what a CEO looks like. The data isn't reality. It's a mirror of our priorities, our culture, and yeah, all of our biases. And then there's this second force, code will. This is the idea that the algorithm itself has its own agenda. Its goals aren't about beauty or artistic truth. They're about cold, hard numbers, efficiency, speed, and making sure you click on the next thing. The code is making creative choices, but not for art's sake. It's doing it for engagement. And here's the bottom line. The synthetic image has totally switched its allegiance. It's not loyal to reality anymore. Its loyalty is to its two masters, the biased data it was fed and the engagement goals written into its code.
So let's circle all the way back to where we started. Now that we have these new tools, we can finally look at those weird glitches, those extra fingers, and really understand what they're trying to tell us.
This is the key right here. A glitch isn't just a mistake, it's a confession. It's the moment the AI's mask slips, and in that failure, it shows us the edges of its own map. It's telling us what was missing from its data, or what its code just couldn't figure out. That six-fingered hand is confessing, hey, I didn't see enough clear pictures of five-fingered hands from all the right angles to make a solid rule.
This means we can actually learn to read the glitches. It's kind of like a four-step decoding process. First, you spot the so-called mistake. Then you ask yourself, okay, what piece of reality is missing from the data that would cause this? Third, what rule about how the world works did the code just completely fail to learn? And when you put those pieces together, boom, you find the hidden assumption, the bias that's baked right into the system.
And this is so much more than just a neat trick for looking at AI art. This is about our new job in a world that's getting more synthetic by the minute. We have to become active readers, not just passive scrollers.
Filomythos has a great name for this new role, the threshold human. And honestly, that's what we all need to become. We have to see that our job isn't just to type in a prompt and be wowed by what comes out. It's to be a critical partner with these systems, to interpret what they give us, to question it, and to help guide them.
So what's in this new toolkit of ours? Well, for starters, we have to constantly be asking about the data, what's in it, and maybe even more important, what got left out. Then, we have to analyze the algorithm's hidden goals. We learn to see those glitches not as errors, but as clues. And maybe the most important tool we have is this. We have to start finding meaning in the gaps and the silences in everything the AI can't show us.
You know, this shift from being a passive user to a threshold human is a really big deal. It's more than just a new skill. It's a totally new way of relating to information and to reality itself.
So we're left with this one last huge question. In a world where an image is no longer proof of what happened, but a statistical guess based on data, what does it even mean to see something anymore? The answer isn't so simple, but by learning how to read the machine's confessions, at least we can start to figure out our place in this strange, new, synthetic world.